So something I found interesting from Daredevil episodes one, and not yeah, just episode one, was the fact that the whole fight between Benjamin Poindexter, Bullseye, and Matt Murdock, Daredevil. When it eventually happens, what happens when Daredevil finally realizes that Foggy has been killed. His heart has stopped because, as you know, Daredevil has the heightened senses, so he can hear that the heartbeat has ended. Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox in specific, actually puts out a great performance. Him screaming, crying, asking why, falling into the chest of Bullseye, the killer. It all was a really great and powerful scene from Charlie Cox, and I've seen people, say give Charlie Cox a freaking Emmy or something because this was a really good scene and really good acting from him. But something I wanted to point out was Bullseye. Bullseye, at the point, I guess he realized at that point that Foggy is dead as well. I don't think he could have heard him, but he realizes Foggy is dead at the same time. I believe at this time because of the reaction that Daredevil has, and he starts laughing, and there's a quick moment where he kind of gives a little like tap, a little hit on the arm, and it was almost like, we're gonna be doing this forever, bro. Like, this is something that we're gonna be enemies for a long time. So this has me feeling that, other than the fact that Daredevil throws Bullseye off the building and Bullseye lives, and we see the whole scene with him in the courtroom getting sentenced, Bullseye will be back this season potentially, but I feel like probably not. I feel like, based on the casting news back when if I remember correctly, that he was only casted after the initial shoots of the show, and then the reshoots seem to be this whole first episode sequence with Foggy dying because at this point we figured that was going to be something that happened off screen, which would have upset a lot of fans because we definitely would have want to see what happens to Foggy. But it seems like he was added in from the casting news, if I remember correctly, that it was just for that. So I don't know if he was in the original plan for the entire show, but I do think there's a potential that he might have filmed some scenes where just to show what he's been up to during the season. But I think he'll be kind of a recurring villain throughout the next season because season 2, as you know, is being filmed right now. I think he'll be a recurring villain, not just in this season, but next season, maybe even a bigger role next season now that they know that Bullseye is kind of not a fan favorite because we're not too happy with what he did, but at the same time a fan favorite villain that we want to see more of. We want to see more showdowns between Daredevil and Bullseye. We want to see more of his story. I think this could be really interesting, and again, I think he'll be back for Daredevil season 2. I think they're going to pull out a lot of stops for Daredevil season 2 because, and here's a couple leaks if you don't want to hear them, the Defenders are supposed to be in the next season. There's also rumors of so many different things, Elektra being in next season, Foggy returning from death. I think the storyline is not closed. I think that there was a reason Matt didn't kill Bullseye, even though in the moment I kind of feel like he was okay with him dying. I think they're setting up more between these two, obviously, with the fact that they literally, showed that he's alive and that he had a prison sentence. There'll be more between them. But, what do you think of this? What did you think of the fight between Daredevil and Bullseye? Were you happy to see the return of Bullseye? Do you want to see more of Bullseye? Do you want to see him in his more comic accurate suit? Let me know everything down below.